In the scorching heat of July, a group of men in black suits and sunglasses appeared conspicuously in a melon field. One of them was holding an unconscious child.
This kid from the John family, will he be all right here?
Who cares? We've completed the task the boss assigned us. Whether he lives or not is none of our business.
With that, the frail man fell silent. The men in black got into an unlicensed car and sped away.
Where am I?
This is the countryside.
John wiped his face and shakily stood up. In front of him was a little girl, about 6 or 7 years old, with pigtails, looking at him timidly.
Do you know where I can find a phone booth around here?
The little girl blinked her eyes, her long eyelashes fluttering, and pointed in a direction. John looked over, and when he turned back, the girl had already run off. He only saw the back of her head, marked with a red birthmark. 15 years passed in the blink of an eye.
I'm sorry, Mr. John, but this time, it's not the person you're looking for either.
In the heart of the business district on the 26th floor of the Sheng Tian Group's headquarters, a handsome man stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, gripping his phone tightly.
Mr. John, everything is ready.
The door to the office was knocked, and a man with gold-rimmed glasses stood respectfully at the entrance.
All right, I'll be right there. Let them in.
The HR manager immediately complied. Moments later, a flamboyantly dressed woman was brought into John's office. The strong scent of her perfume quickly filled the room.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, Mr. President. My name is Megan. I've always admired Sheng Tian Group, especially its president, you, Mr. John. If I have the chance to be your assistant, I would be deeply honored.
I read your resume. Besides your photo, there's nothing else. What skills do you have?
I can serve you coffee, make latte art, iron your clothes, organize your files.
All right. Next.
But Mr. John? I can also keep you company, and I can, hey.
John sighed again. It was the third day of interviews, and he still hadn't found a suitable assistant.
Hello, Mr. John. My name is David. I'm a graduate student from Tsinghua University. My hobbies are reading, playing basketball, and singing.
Do you know that you need to wear formal attire for an interview?
Sorry, formal wear isn't my style.
Next.
Hello, Mr. President. I meet all the requirements for the job, but I have a small request. Can I bring my pet to work? It's very cute and well-behaved.
What kind of pet?
It's a small snake.
By the end of the morning, John was too exasperated to be angry, feeling only helplessness.
Mr. John, maybe you should have lunch first.
Is there anyone left?
Just one more.
Before the HR manager could finish, a tall girl walked in. John's heart inexplicably skipped a beat.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Hannah.
Her voice was soft, her eyes carrying a hint of shyness, but her demeanor was confident.
I graduated with a master's degree in finance from S University.
And?
I've already written everything in my resume.
John was about to dismiss her, but when he opened her resume, he was impressed. It wasn't that she was exceptionally outstanding. John had seen many impressive people, but her resume was remarkably clean.
Why do you want to work at Sheng Tian Group?
A friend recommended it, and I need a job.
John felt stifled. He cleared his throat and asked,
Do you think you can handle this job?
I don't think so.
John was about to dismiss her, but when he opened her resume, he was impressed. It wasn't that she was exceptionally outstanding. John had seen many impressive people, but her resume was remarkably clean. In all the resumes he had reviewed, he had seen many people trying to hide their past, but there were always clues. especially since Sheng Tian Group would highlight any discrepancies between the resume and their investigation. But Hannah's resume was spotless.
Why do you want to work at Sheng Tian Group?
A friend recommended it, and I need a job.
John felt stifled. He cleared his throat.
Do you think you can handle this job?
I don't think so.
She was wearing a pink suit skirt that seemed to have been given to her by some senior colleague in the company. The gaudy color was matched by an even more garish large coffee mug she was holding, which was decorated with Hello Kitty. Hannah, holding the coffee and wearing 13-centimeter high heels she had never worn before, walked cautiously to John under the gaze of dozens of eyes in the office and gently placed the coffee mug in front of him.
Mr. John, your coffee.
John's vision went black, and he almost fainted.
What were you thinking?
After the meeting, John cornered Hannah in the stairwell.
Hannah's eyes filled with tears again. I followed your instructions to bring you coffee. Did I instruct you to use a pink Hello Kitty mug?
John got stuck on his own words. After all, he hadn't told Hannah what kind of mug she should use to bring him coffee. But didn't she have any common sense? John gritted his teeth and slammed the wall beside Hannah. Yes, a wall slam. Their faces were so close they were almost touching, and Hannah's eyelashes fluttered. John's heart softened again. He didn't know why.
Forget it, just be more careful next time. If you're unsure, ask me.
John turned and left after speaking. Hannah stood stiffly by the wall. The morning passed quickly, and during the lunch break, Hannah went to the third-floor employee cafeteria with the company staff to eat. The Sheng Tian Group's cafeteria was known for its high quality, and many people came here just for the good food. Hannah picked a few dishes she liked and quietly sat in a corner to eat. After all, it was her first day, and she wasn't familiar with anyone. She wasn't the type to make friends easily. Before Hannah could take a few bites, the peaceful third-floor cafeteria was disrupted by a loud, arrogant shout.
Is anyone in charge here? Get out here!
A short, fat man with a beer belly, accompanied by several tall men in black suits and sunglasses, barged into the cafeteria. Hannah continued chewing her food, pretending to be indifferent and ready to watch the commotion. During lunch, most employees were in the cafeteria. But the place fell silent, and no one stepped forward to take responsibility.
Is there something wrong?
Are you in charge? I want to know why my shipment, which was supposed to arrive on the 18th, hasn't shown up by the 28th. What's going on?
I'm just the cafeteria manager. I can't handle this. You should talk to the logistics department.
Before he finished speaking, a man in a suit with glasses raised his head from his plate, swallowed his food with difficulty, and said,
The logistics department only handles internal reception. You should talk to the business department.
We only handle payment coordination. For specific matters, you need to talk to the planning department.
The planning department only handles overall arrangements. We don't know the specifics.
None of you are responsible? The short, fat man became even more displeased after listening for a while. He waved his hand and shouted again.
Are you all playing me for a fool? Who's your boss? Get John out here to see me.
The cafeteria fell silent for a moment, and then a young receptionist timidly spoke.
You can make an appointment to see Mr. John.
Get lost! I want to see him now. Do you know how much money I've lost because of this delayed shipment? Will you compensate me?
How much have you lost?
A clear female voice rang out from the corner of the cafeteria. The short, fat man was stunned, and everyone looked toward the source of the voice. Hannah stood up gracefully and put down her cup of orange juice.
Who are you? I only talked to the person in charge.
I'm Hannah. Mr. John's assistant.
She didn't want to get involved, but thinking of John frowning at his computer screen made her heart ache. So, she didn't want anyone to bully John's company. She slowly walked over.
So, who are you?
I'm Paul, the general manager of Davois Construction Company.
The short, fat man instinctively reached for his business card but then put his hand down.
All right, Mr. Paul, what do you need? Just say it here.
I want to talk to the person in charge.
If you don't tell us what the issue is, how will we know who the person in charge is?
Then get Mr. John out here.
If every troublemaker could see Mr. John, this wouldn't be a company, it would be a charity. If you have something to say it quickly.
Security will be here in 5 minutes. Whether you have a valid issue or not, if you cause trouble in Sheng Tian Group, we won't let it slide. Hannah finished speaking sternly and glanced at her watch. However, her heart was pounding nervously. Paul's arrogance immediately diminished by half.
I ordered a shipment that was supposed to arrive on the 18th, but it's the 28th, and it still hasn't arrived.
Did you sign a contract with Sheng Tian Group?
Yes. The contract stated the 18th delivery to my designated location, my warehouse.
Who signed the contract with you? If it wasn't delivered on time, why didn't you contact them instead of causing trouble here?
I called him, and he said he quit, so he wasn't handling previous orders anymore. When I tried to contact him again, his number was disconnected.
Did he give you any other contact information or tell you who to contact in the future?
Of course not. If he had, I would have found someone already. Why would I come here now?
Paul glared at her. Are you stupid? Hannah took a deep breath.
Then tell me the person's name, and I'll check which department they belong to and find someone responsible for you.
Pulls out a piece of paper and hesitates.
After a long hesitation, he finally said a name. The restaurant fell silent again. Hannah waited for a long time, but no one claimed that the person had been an employee of their department.
Are you sure you signed a contract with Sheng Tian Group?
Of course! Why else would I be here? Do you think I'm a fool? If you don't believe me, look at the contract.
He angrily pulled out a contract from his bag and shoved it at Hannah. Hannah, puzzled by how no one recognized the person Michael had signed the contract with, opened the contract and skimmed through it. She was drawn to the last few clauses.
Michael, where did you specify the delivery location?
Warehouse number 3, 2nd Street, He1 District, Imperial City. What's the problem?
The contract states warehouse number 3, 2nd Street, Hedong District, not He1 District.
Michael leaned in to look, then checked something on his phone. After verifying, his face turned visibly red.
Michael, it seems there's been a mistake.
She bit her tongue to keep from laughing. Michael's flushed face was indeed quite amusing.
After you delivered it, no one received it, and you just left it there without checking if the recipient was correct?
If the recipient's warehouse was also a company's, and they happened to order the same goods, we might not have noticed.
Michael's face turned as red as a ripe tomato.
Michael, since the misunderstanding is cleared up, why don't you sit down and have a meal? Although it's the employee cafeteria, I think the food is quite good.
No. No need to trouble yourself.
It's no trouble. I can get you a glass of juice. And I'd like to ask why you didn't come to us on the 19th when the delivery didn't arrive on the 18th, but waited until the 28th.
Michael's smile froze.
I saw the contract states a 5% penalty per day. Did you think 5% wasn't enough and wanted 10 5% penalties? Michael, Sheng Tian Group is a large company. We wouldn't resort to tricks over one deal. Even if there's a mistake, resolving it promptly allows for future cooperation. If things are done too harshly, it will be hard to cooperate in the future. Sheng Tian Group has a good reputation in Imperial City, and I believe Mr. Chu has good connections, so the company won't fail.
Cold sweat dripped from Michael's forehead. Hannah's message was clear: going against Sheng Tian Group would mean no business in Imperial City. For Michael's company, that would be a dead end.
Miss Jiang.
Michael wiped the sweat from his forehead, about to say something when a deep male voice interrupted.
Why is the guest on the third floor? Michael, come upstairs and talk with me.
John stood there leisurely, his gaze sliding over Hannah. He took Michael away, and as Hannah was about to return to her seat, someone greeted her from behind.
Assistant John, I'm from the marketing department. Can we get to know each other?
Suddenly, Hannah was surrounded by people.
You did well, though you're not great at making coffee.
Hannah smiled shyly, her head slightly lowered.
Accompany me to an event tonight.
Ah?
You just need to stand by my side and smile gracefully for the cameras.
But that evening, John once again underestimated Hannah.
I need to use the restroom.
It was a fashion show hosted by Sheng Tian Group, but John wasn't in charge. He was there to persuade other CEOs to invest. Hannah got lost after leaving the restroom, but a commotion nearby caught her attention.
Call an ambulance!
A woman wrapped in a blanket lay on the ground, her face swollen and red.
What happened? Is she a model?
Yes, she's the finale model, but she seems to have had an acute reaction and fainted.
It looks like an allergy.
An allergy?
Yes, you should secure the area and check for suspicious individuals. Models wouldn't eat something new that could cause an allergy at such a time, right?
The supervisor pondered, realizing it made sense.
I suspect someone deliberately gave her something to cause the allergy. Secure the area and check the surveillance for suspicious people entering the dressing room.
Okay.
Is there a backup model?
Knowing the importance of the finale model.
No. She was supposed to wear the finale outfit, and the designer was to introduce it.
Can't another model do it?
It's possible, but the outfit needs adjustments, and all the models are on stage now.
Then, won't this cause a problem? John was about to dismiss her, but when he opened her resume, he was taken aback. It wasn't that she was exceptionally outstanding. John had seen many impressive people, but her resume was remarkably clean. In all the resumes he had reviewed, he had seen many people trying to hide their past, but there were always clues. Especially since Sheng Tian Group would highlight any discrepancies between the resume and their investigation. But Hannah's resume was spotless.
Why do you want to work at Sheng Tian Group?
A friend recommended it, and I need a job.
John felt stifled. He cleared his throat and asked,
Do you think you can handle this job?
I don't think so.
Alice held her still sleeping child closer and said softly,
Love or not, it doesn't matter anymore. I no longer have dreams. Living is just for these two children.
After speaking, Alice walked away with her child, never looking back at James, who kept staring in the direction she left, feeling a mix of emotions. Hannah paused, signaling everyone to look at the dress she was wearing, and continued.
So, after James returned heartbroken, he immersed himself in his work again and finally designed this dress. This dress is designed for those who may no longer have a perfect figure but still hold dreams in their hearts. It's a story with a tragic ending, but the designer poured all his love and longing for Alice into this dress. So I believe that anyone who wears this dress will surely receive unwavering love from their partner. It can give people confidence and beauty, allowing everyone to be their own angel.
The audience erupted in applause, and the flashlights shone on Hannah's confident face, giving her a unique charm, elegant and beautiful. Hannah's emotional introduction brought the atmosphere to a climax. Even James, who had been worried that Hannah might not perform well, couldn't help but secretly admire her. Who said beautiful women are just vases? Hannah truly deserved to be the assistant to the CEO, solving her crisis so effortlessly. John, who had been standing beside Hannah the whole time, never took his eyes off her. Seeing Hannah bring the story to life and her longing for true love gave John a new perspective on her, making him look at her with newfound respect. John's resolve to dismiss Hannah wavered once again. Could this clumsy person really change?
What's wrong, Mr. John? Are you feeling unwell?
After all, they were still on stage, and it wouldn't look good if people saw them whispering. Hannah thought John might be tired from handling the event and asked with concern.
Nothing.
Hannah posed for countless photos with the flashlights, always smiling at the cameras. Although she wasn't a professional model, her beautiful features and graceful demeanor made her stand out, giving the audience a fresh and unique feeling. As the music changed, Hannah began to walk off the stage, knowing it was time for her to leave. John naturally took her hand, leading her off the stage with gentlemanly grace. Because of John's status and his close interaction with Hannah, the audience began to speculate about their relationship, drawing even more attention. After stepping off the stage, John immediately let go of Hannah's hand, showing no trace of the earlier tenderness. Hannah secretly stuck out her tongue, thinking that Mr. John was indeed a cold and unpredictable person.
You did well today. However, I still need to.
Before he could finish saying dismiss, he suddenly noticed the red birthmark on Hannah's head. John froze, then reached out and held Hannah tightly in his arms.
I found you, finally found you.
Hannah had only come to be an assistant, never expecting to become the CEO's wife.